Legendary band Heart has split into two, at least for now. Ann Wilson was just in Rochester a couple of weeks ago, and now Sister Nancy is coming here too. She has a new band that is opening for Bob Seger tomorrow night at Blue Cross Arena. I talked to her about all that's happening in her life. We talked by phone the other day. Thank you so much for taking a little time with us today. The first question out of my head is about Roadcase Royale. I read a little bit about the genesis of that, but for the uninitiated, a roadcase is one of those big boxes you see roadies pushing up ramps, right?
That's exactly what road cases are. I know, they're just like big old scuffed up, hard shell characters, and I could really relate to them because I've lived around road cases most of my life. You live out of road cases too. You keep your stash in there, and then you move on to the next town and put your clothes in there. So road cases are pretty cool things. And I was really surprised when I got the name Roadcase Productions at first that it was available. So then we figured we might want to use it as part of the band name. And, because Prince's New Power Generation was where Liv Warfield and her guitar player Ryan Waters came from, that was kind of the Royale part of the Roadcase Royale.
I was going to ask you about that Prince connection, and it was you watching her on The Tonight Show, and that kind of brought all this together, didn't it?
Yeah, we saw her on Jimmy Fallon sort of by chance, and she had her big string review, her horn section with her blackbirds, and our jaws dropped when we saw her on that show because she just had this incredible power. Energy was just like, electric, and her voice was just amazing. So, and her guitar player, just so good. And so we were looking for an opening act for the Hollywood Bowl for 2 nights for Heart, and we approached her, and they said, "Yep, hell yeah, we'll be there." So then we hit it off as friends, just hanging out a couple days, and talked about music, talked about some new things we wanted to try to do and how fun that would be. And, it happened. We just kept after it until it became real. And I'm really happy we did that.
Does it ever hit you that you've been making music and making a living at making music since you were, 19 years old? There's a lot of musicians who wish they could say that. Does it seem real to you? Does it seem like it went a lot faster than maybe the years would dictate?
Well, going into it, before I was even in the band, I was so aimed at doing anything that was potentially anywhere close to something the Beatles would be doing, because I was raised on the Beatles, and the ethic of the Beatles was so strong that it's like, put down those ukuleles and pick up those guitars,
How good is it to have a new band and a new sound and a new, does it re-energize you? Does it take you in a direction that you always wanted to go in? What does it mean to you as a musician, as somebody who does this, to kind of have a new thing going on?
Well, it's interesting because for me, I wouldn't have probably done it, started thinking about doing it, unless Anne would have started thinking about doing it for her own self at first. And she was starting to feel a little bit ragged, doing the same, what she calls the hamster wheel thing with Heart, which I never really felt that, but I didn't have to do the lead singing either, so, I understand. And so, so what became like a temporary hiatus, I don't know what that's going to be now, but I'm really, in some ways, it was a blessing in disguise that she started wanting something else for her own self. So I started looking for myself for this new thing, which at this point now, I'm really happy to just stick with this for as much as I can do it and play it out, because right now it's gaining momentum in such a beautiful way, and it is, yes, very inspiring and uplifting. you know, I've always loved being in Heart, and I know how much it means to the people who love Heart. So that's why we're going to be playing quite a few Heart songs, you know, rocking the Heart songs too, and some of our original stuff from the new album, which is coming out, as you probably know, the 22nd of September.
10 days after you're here.
We've got it all going on. Yes, exactly. So we've got it all going on, and it's super fun. I feel like I'm in a honeymoon phase right now.
Nancy
Wow.
and Roadcase Royale open for Bob Seger tomorrow night at the Blue Cross Arena. It's fun
I'd
talking
love to
to
see
her.
how she's kind of reinvented herself, right? I mean, I think it's great. It shows her versatility.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Hey.